everyone, welcome back to MR Daily English. I'm your host, Amelia, and sitting right across from me is the one and only Michael. How are you doing today?
Amelia, I am doing fantastic. I just had a great morning walk, the weather was beautiful, and now I get to talk with you and our amazing listeners. Life is good.
That sounds wonderful. I love that energy. Okay, friends, today we have a very special episode for you.
Yes, and honestly, this might be one of my favorite topics we have ever covered.
Same, because today we're talking about something that every single one of our listeners deals with every day.
Every single day, no exceptions.
We're talking about real-life English conversation and how to actually get better at speaking English in your daily life.
Not textbook English, not grammar rules you memorize and forget, real, natural, confident English.
The kind of English you use when you're talking to a coworker, ordering food, handling a difficult situation, or just making a new friend.
And we're going to mix in some motivation today, too, because learning a language is not just about vocabulary and grammar, it's about mindset.
Absolutely. Your mindset is everything. So let's start there. Michael, be honest. When you were learning something new and difficult, what was the biggest thing that stopped you from improving?
Oh, that's easy. Fear. 100% fear.
Fear of what exactly?
Fear of making mistakes. Fear of saying something wrong and people laughing. Fear of sounding stupid.
Yes, and I think every single person learning English right now knows exactly that feeling.
You open your mouth, you want to say something, and then your brain just freezes.
Like a computer that stops working at the worst possible moment.
Exactly. And then the moment passes and you think, oh, I knew what I wanted to say. Why didn't I just say it?
That happens to so many learners. And here's what I want everyone to understand today. That fear is completely normal. Every person who speaks a second language has felt it.
Every single one. There is no exception. Even confident speakers were once beginners who were terrified.
So the question is not how to make the fear disappear. The question is, how do you speak anyway, even when you're afraid?
That is the real skill. Courage, not perfection.
Yes, write that down, friends. Courage, not perfection. That is the goal.
Because here's the truth. No one is waiting for you to be perfect. People just want to understand you, and they appreciate the effort.
So much. When someone tries to speak in a language that isn't their first, most people are genuinely impressed and supportive.
They are not sitting there judging your grammar. They're just listening to what you mean.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's talk about real-life English that our listeners face every day.
I love this part. Let's do it.
Situation number 1. You are at work and your manager calls you into a meeting unexpectedly. You are nervous. What do you say when you walk in?
Okay, great example. A simple and natural thing to say is, "Good morning. I'm glad you called me in. What can I help you with today?"
Perfect. It's calm, it's professional, and it shows confidence even if you don't feel confident inside.
And notice the phrase, "What can I help you with?" That is incredibly useful in so many situations. At work, at a store, with a customer.
Exactly. Learn phrases that work in many situations, and you will always have something to say.
That's one of the biggest secrets to fluency, actually. It's not about knowing every word. It's about having the right phrases ready to go.
Like tools in a toolbox. You don't need every tool in the world, you just need the right ones for your daily life.
I love that analogy. Okay, situation number 2. You didn't understand what someone said. What do you do?
Oh, this one is so important because many learners just nod and smile even when they have no idea what was said.
Guilty. I have definitely done that.
We all have, but it creates problems later. So instead, try saying, "I'm sorry, could you say that again a little more slowly? I want to make sure I understand you correctly."
That is perfect. It's polite, it's clear, and it shows that you care about the conversation.
And here's the thing, native speakers ask for clarification all the time too. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of good communication.
Absolutely. Asking questions is a sign of intelligence, not ignorance.
Okay, situation number 3. You meet someone new, maybe at an event, maybe at work, maybe at a class. How do you start a conversation naturally?
This one makes people so nervous, the small talk situation.
Small talk is huge. It's the bridge to every deeper conversation.
You can start with something very simple. Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Michael. How do you know the people here?
Simple, friendly, and it gives the other person an easy way to respond.
And then you just listen. Ask follow-up questions. Show genuine interest.
That's actually the secret to being a great conversationalist in any language. People love to feel heard.
So true. You don't even need perfect English. You need good listening skills and genuine curiosity.
Now, I want to talk about something that I think holds a lot of English learners back specifically, and that is comparing yourself to others.
Oh, wow. Yes, this is a big one.
You see someone speaking English so smoothly, so naturally, and you think, I will never sound like that. Why am I even trying?
And you forget that you are only seeing their result. You are not seeing the years of practice, the hundreds of mistakes they went through to get there.
Every fluent speaker has a story full of struggle. Nobody skipped the hard part.
Nobody. And comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 is not fair to yourself.
You are on your own journey. Your progress is the only progress that matters.
I remember when I was learning a new skill, not English, but something else, and I was so frustrated because I wasn't improving as fast as I wanted to.
What did you do?
I stopped looking at other people, and I started tracking my own progress. I looked at where I was 1 month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago.
And?
I had actually improved a lot. I just couldn't see it because I was always looking sideways instead of looking back.
That is such good advice. Look back at your own progress, not sideways at other people's journey.
Progress is sometimes quiet and slow, but it is always happening if you keep showing up.
And that brings us to motivation, because this is the part that makes everything possible or impossible.
Motivation is the engine. Without it, you have a beautiful car that just sits in the garage.
So let's talk honestly. There are days when you don't want to practice, when you are tired, when you feel like you aren't improving, when you just want to quit.
Those days are real. I don't want to pretend they don't exist.
But here is what I want everyone to remember. You do not have to feel motivated to take action. You just have to take the action.
Wait, say that again. That's important.
You do not have to feel motivated to take action. Motivation often comes after you start, not before.
Yes, most of the time I don't feel like going for my morning walk, but the moment I put on my shoes and step outside, I'm glad I did.
Exactly. The hardest part is always starting. Once you begin, momentum takes over.
So on the days you don't feel like practicing your English, just do 5 minutes. Just open the app. Just watch one short video. Just write 3 sentences in English.
5 minutes turns into 10. 10 turns into 30, and before you know it, you've had a full practice session.
Small actions done consistently create enormous results over time.
Okay, Michael, let's talk about some daily habits that our listeners can build to improve their English conversation skills specifically.
Yes, practical habits. Let's go.
Habit number 1. Talk to yourself in English. I know it sounds funny, but it works.
It really does. When you're cooking, getting dressed, driving, narrate what you're doing in English. I'm going to the kitchen. I'm making coffee. It smells amazing.
It builds the habit of thinking in English, which is a huge step toward fluency.
Habit number 2. Watch content in English without subtitles, at least sometimes.
This one is challenging but so valuable. Your ears need to train themselves to hear natural English at real speed.
Start with short videos. Even 3 to 5 minutes without subtitles is great practice.
Habit number 3. Find an English-speaking partner or community.
This is probably the most powerful habit of all. Speaking with real people in real conversations is irreplaceable.
There are so many online communities now, language exchange apps, conversation groups, even comment sections like ours.
Yes, come talk to us in the comments. Practice your English right there. We love reading your messages.
And don't worry about mistakes in the comments. Just write. Just try. That's the whole point.
Habit number 4. Learn phrases in context, not just single words.
Instead of memorizing the word apologize alone, learn the full phrase. I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Or, I'm so sorry about that. Let me fix it right away.
Context gives words life. It shows you how to actually use them in the real world.
And habit number 5, celebrate your progress. Every single win, no matter how small.
Yes, you understood a movie scene without subtitles. Celebrate that. You had a 2-minute conversation with a native speaker. That is huge.
Don't wait until you're fluent to feel proud. Be proud of every step along the way.
Because every step matters. Every step is real progress.
You know, Michael, I think the most important message today is this. Learning English is not just about language. It's about becoming a more confident version of yourself.
That's beautifully said. Every time you push through the fear and speak anyway, you are growing as a person.
Your English journey is also a courage journey, a patience journey, a discipline journey.
And those qualities, courage, patience, discipline, they don't just help your English, they help every area of your life.
So keep going, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days.
You are not as far behind as you think, and you are more capable than you believe.
Friends, if this episode helped you today, please like this video and subscribe to MR Daily English. It really means so much to us.
And leave a comment below. Tell us one English situation that you find difficult. We might make a whole episode just for you.
We read every single comment. This community is everything to us.
Keep practicing, keep showing up, and remember, every expert was once a beginner.
You've got this. We believe in you completely.
Until next time, stay curious, stay consistent, and keep speaking.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next episode of MR Daily English.
Take care, friends. We'll see you soon.